like they don't have a chance to become because of their circumstance and the environment. But it's like I vision butterflies flying around them, carrying their dreams, their dreams, their dreams, their dreams.
In the depths of the sun plays a child with a gun in this grey landscape of war. In the depths of the soil of the heart lives a vision, the dreams to reach the sky. As butterflies carrying the dreams on wings, from dust to sky, mind open wide, sunlight reveals the light. Inside, hope is near. When you dream, you can touch it with your fingers. It's closer than it seems in these gallery of dreams, gallery of dreams.
Your mind is a gallery of dreams. Every single painting a vision supreme, vividly serene. Envision the scene beyond concrete skies. Our dreams will arise. Gradually through time, we fail to recognize the talent within, right in front of our eyes, flourishing inside. Please let them sing. Illuminate your being like flowers in the spring.
As butterflies carrying the dreams on wings, from dust to sky, mind open wide, sunlight reveals the light. Inside, hope is near. When you dream, you can touch it with your fingers. It's closer than it seems in these gallery of dreams, gallery of dreams.
I write for those that are too scared to dream, lacking ambition with low self-esteem. Some won't believe what one day you'll achieve. Put doubt in yourself until you retrieve from the path that you're in. And if you fall down, you have to rise up again. It's time for a change. Shake off your fears and replace it with faith. Strive for perfection at your own pace.
As butterflies carrying the dreams on wings, from dust to sky, mind open wide, sunlight reveals the light. Inside, hope is near. When you dream, you can touch it with your fingers. It's closer than it seems in these gallery of dreams, gallery of dreams. The heavens open wide and draw you a picture in the sky of your life in a dream. Look beyond the clouds and you'll see it.
A vision so vivid and true, you can almost grasp it. The wisdom lies deep inside of you. All you have to do is search deep in your soul. Envision your path fully taking control.
It's as real as you feel. Your higher potential you must reveal. Wake and believe, keep on trying. See the dream alive and keep on flying.
Learn from mistakes, there's no time to waste. Accept who you are, cause that's who God made. It's time to embrace the talent that you're blessed with. Strive for the best, don't accept nothing less.
As butterflies carrying the dreams on wings, from dust to sky, mind open wide, sunlight reveals the light. Inside, hope is near. When you dream, you can touch it with your fingers. It's closer than it seems in these gallery of dreams, gallery of dreams.
Hello and welcome. So you're listening to Noods Radio, and for the next hour we've got a special show celebrating Bristol Refugee Festival, which is part of Refugee Week, which is happening globally this week, 17th to the 23rd of June, and it celebrates the contributions, creativity and resilience of refugees and people seeking sanctuary all around the world. So I'm Katie Novo, and in the studio with me today is MoYah, whose music you just heard at the top of their show just then.
Hi, Kate.
Hi, Moy. Thank you so much for being with us. So that was Gallery of Dreams, which is MoYah featuring Sarina Leah. And MoYah is an Afrofusion hip-hop artist, award-winning interfaith curator and educator. So he's performed extensively around the world, sharing stages with artists such as Nas, Africa Bambaataa, Yuna, Guru and Talib Kweli. But as well as his own musical achievements, he does put a huge amount of energy into projects for refugees and asylum seekers, such as the May Project Garden, for which he's hip-hop ambassador, and mentoring young musicians from refugee backgrounds here in Bristol, which we're going to hear a little bit more about in a minute. He's also an award-winning interfaith arts programmer, recently receiving the 21 for 21 award for his work encouraging community cohesion between different faiths. So massive thanks for coming in. You're a very busy man. Thanks for giving us your time. And can you tell me a little bit, first of all, about yourself and about your story and how you came to be here talking about Refugee Week with us today?
First of all, thank you so much for having me in the show. So, I was born in Mozambique, Southeast Africa, a very beautiful country surrounded by 5 other countries. And I was born shortly after the Mozambican independence from Portugal. So it should have been a time where really Mozambicans would be celebrating their independence and rebuilding the country and reimagining how they wanted the country and themselves to be governed. But unfortunately, 2 different political parties started fighting for power, and that led to a 16-year war. And I was born right in the middle of that war. So in order for me to survive and not be turned into a child rebel soldier, my parents decided to flee. So we fled Mozambique, me, my parents, and my 2 older sisters, and we fled as political refugees to Portugal. So I was raised in Lisbon before moving to London, and then 3 years ago I moved to this beautiful city called Bristol.
Oh, fantastic! And do you have memories of Mozambique?
No, I left there as a toddler. I was really, really young. I've returned there now multiple times because my father has gone back. So the memories that I have is now as an adult, and I had to rely. Growing up in Portugal, there wasn't much access back then to Mozambican writers or Mozambican photographers. So the way that I connected with my home country was through what my parents and family would tell me, or through music. So music played a really significant role to kind of express and communicate what was going on and what were the people like. So I got to know that, and I realized that music could be used not just as a tool for entertainment, but as a tool for communication.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is. Like, it sounds like it's been really, really important in your life in that way, both from the sounds of it, like receiving, but then also now giving. So do you want to talk about what you've been working on just here recently in Bristol, or should we play another bit of your music first of all? Yeah. So what we're going to play now, we've got queued up, is Tabonga. So can you tell me a bit about this tune?
Yeah, so Tabonga basically means thank you in my father's original language, which is a language called Ndao. And it's a song about my journey as a refugee, having to flee Mozambique and some of the obstacles that I faced in Portugal before coming here. But it's not a song of pity, it's a song of celebration. And I'm saying thank you because, we know that every obstacle that we overcome only makes us stronger. So it's a song of celebration, and it's a celebration not just of my life, but all the people and who have gone through similar experiences to me. And it's about celebrating their resilience, their strength, their dedication, their courage, because it does take a lot for you to be able to leave everything you love behind and pursue a better life for yourself.
Amazing. Right, so this is MoYah Tabonga featuring Don Jagger.
Guess I am destined to win. Held my dreams like an next to kin. Killed the fears that I kept within. Now let my light shine, so I'll begin. Come a long way from barely existing. Wars in my home, we fled to Lisbon. Seen as a villain, but I needed healing. One of many children in abandoned buildings. You know not about the life I live. Fact, I'm here, God truly exists. Could have been banged up, cuffs on my wrist, but I guess God's plan kept blessing this kid. Can't take any credit, you see. Higher power working through me. Grateful, how could I not be? Praying all the blessings all around me. Now I cherish all my tests, cause the lessons that I got. Overstand the purpose, so you know I won't flop. All around the clock, believe me, we don't stop. Fire's not an option when you're reaching for the top. Young black Elohim, legacy of kings. Repping C-Say, seraphims on my team. Not a cliche, still shining with my queen. Follow Yasin, no Sadat Mustaqim.
Tabonga, only for things don't matter, God bless me. Tabonga, I'm blessed that I'm still here. Overcame all my face, get ready to the Mozambique. Tabonga, 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 yeah.
This is for the man, I'm in the block. Single mothers bubble in the pot. Working taking 2 drops to try to beat the clock. We come even harder every time we get knocked. There are some that love it when you fell. Smile every time you take a L. A lesson is a blessing in disguise. Value what you seek and prepare to pay the price. A big middle finger to oppressors. Lying politicians try finesse us. Regardless of the way they try to test us. Remember that a diamond is made under pressure. Can't take any credit you see. Higher power working through me. Grateful, how could I not be? Praying all the blessings all around we. Now I cherish all my tests cause they're lessons that I got. Overstand the purpose so you know I won't flop. All around the clock, believe me, we don't stop. Flyers that are option when you're reaching for the top. Young black Elohim, legacy of kings. Repping C-Say, seraphims on my team. Not a cliche, still shining with my queen. Follow Yasin, Sirat Mustaqim.
Tabonga, yeah. Ay. Allah deu-me tudo que tenho, paz e amor é que veio. Ay. Allah deu-me tudo que tenho, paz e amor é que veio. Às vezes o tempo é que cura, acredita Deus ajuda. Em Moçambique, Portugal, no Reino Unido hoje sou o tal. Quem sabe que não é normal. Crescer no inferno e sair do mar. Only but things don't matter, God bless me. Tabonga, I'm blessed that I'm still here. Overcame all my fears, guerreiro de Moçambique. Tabonga, yeah.
Amazing. Right, that was Tabonga featuring MoYah, who's here today in the studio with us here on Noods Radio, talking about his own experience as a refugee coming from Mozambique, and also about all the things he's doing, all the different projects that he's working on, including stuff working towards a big performance in Queen's Square as part of Bristol Refugee Festival this weekend. So this tune is coming out when's this tune coming out?
Very, very soon. So we're aiming to shoot the music video within the next month or so. And then from that, it will come out shortly after. So this summer.
Nice. Lovely. So now rewinding a little bit, you were talking just before we played this tune about music as a sort of really important tool of communication, especially when you're sort of very far from your home, from your heritage, from kind of culture that you would have been growing up with. So can you talk a little bit more about that and what your experience was and the kind of artists that were having an impact on you? Absolutely.
I feel that, first of all, music has always been like a part of my household. I grew up in a house where my mother would play like a wide variety of music every single day. She'd be cleaning the house, cooking, and whilst just dancing and listening to music. Also, my father used to be a singer back in Mozambique. He had his own band with his cousin and other friends. And
did he did he release things like what? Like if you were to try and find it, what would you?
No. So he used to do a lot of covers. Actually, it was a lot of covers. He had he had his own place where he would play, and he was also on radio, but he would be like doing a lot of covers. But growing up, I remember that my father, particularly, he would play a lot of music that had really strong social justice messages. So from a very young age, I understood that music, as I said, he didn't just have to be a tool for entertainment, but it could be used also as a tool of communication, of education, and of just sharing information. So there was just a wide variety of artists that I grew up listening to. One of my favorite Afro-Portuguese artists is an artist called Bonga, who is from Angola. And what's interesting about him is that before Angola getting its independence from Portugal, he was an athlete, and he used to actually represent Portugal. And he would travel all around the world running and representing Portugal. But because of that, he was able to pass on messages between what was happening in Angola, internally in the country. And he was able to pass those messages to Angolans who had to go on exile, who were outside of the country. So obviously this is before internet and phones and stuff. So, and Portuguese government were always like, how is this like really underground, limited information getting passed on to all these different people around the world until they realized that their favorite athlete was actually the person who was passing this information. And then they wanted to kind of eliminate him. So he had to go in exile. But his music is just really, really powerful. And you can, even though you might not understand it, you can really feel it. You can feel like so much power in his voice. And what I love is that he didn't just sing in Portuguese. He also sung in his traditional language.
Oh, and what do you know what his traditional language was?
I now forget the dialect, but you'll hear it on the song.
Yeah, yes. Okay. And so we're going to play. So we've got a song now by Bonga. And what is this one called?
It's called Mona Shi. Okay, so we've got a song by Bonga, and this is called Monaki Ngi Shika. Those are not Portuguese words, so I hope I've pronounced it correctly.
Okay, fantastic. Right, here we go. So that tune was by Bonga. That was from Angola. And so MoYah is here in the studio with me today. And I want to know that. So obviously this is music that's a little bit older. Mm-hmm. And you're a hip-hop artist, primarily, Afrofusion hip-hop artist. So what other artists have influenced you? Like, what is there anybody else in different fields, maybe in hip-hop, who's had an influence on you as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So starting with the Afro-Portuguese artists, because growing up, despite me being Mozambican, I embrace music from different parts of the world. And there are 5 Portuguese-speaking countries in the African continent. So you've got Mozambique, Angola, Cape Verde, Guinea-Bissau, and Saint Tomé. So all of the different music from those countries I grew up listening to. But outside of the traditional music, I was really blown away when I came across this artist who's originally from Somalia. He was also a refugee who fled, I believe, to Canada. And his name is Kanan. He had a massive #1 hit. I don't know if people remember a few years ago in the World Cup, that Waving Flag song. When I get older. Yeah. So, yeah, it was a massive song. But the song that I absolutely love is a song that he released on his album called Fire in Freetown.
Okay, amazing. So we're going to play that now.
There's no way to ride it, there's no way to fight it. And I kick and scream, but you got me despite it. And I got my pride, so I begin to hide it. Like fire in Freetown, you begin to light it. Sidi Hoga Sharuka. fire in Freetown, you old magic spoiler. CD hoga sharuka. You shine down upon me. CD hoga sharuka. You shine down upon me. You place pins in my ribs and ask me to lie down. My pain is your pleasure, but pleasure is all mine. You lend me your false ear, I lend you my false lines. Like fire in Freetown, I'm fueled by your gold mine. See the ocean. Here we go. You shine down upon me. See the ocean. You shine down upon me. See the ocean. You shine down upon me. See the ocean. You shine down upon me. There's no way to ride it, there's no way to fight it. But I kick and scream if me despite it. I got my pride, so I begin to fight it. Like fire in Freetown, you begin to fight it. She pulled out her match and she burned down my home. Fire, she always come find me. She know where I'm at. Fire, she know where to touch me, to turn me to stone. Fire, she come like a storm and she rain on my lawn. Fire, she know where to touch me, to turn me to stone. Fire, she always come find me. She know where I roam. Fire, she pull out her match and she burned down my home.
Yes, and that was Kanan, Fire in Freetown. So what is it about like that song and about Kanan in general that kind of speaks to you personally?
I mean, first of all, I think that song is absolutely beautiful. It's funny, I was talking about him being a rapper, but actually he's singing on that song. He's extremely talented. He's a rapper, a singer, songwriter, but and I kind of saw the growth of his career. Initially just starting off performing with like a djembe drum, just like beating his djembe drum and rapping over that and doing spoken word kind of poetry, and then to working on a really high budget album, and how his music was received like globally. And I think he addressed like really, really important topics, but in a really beautiful way. And I felt that I remember him coming, his career growing at a time where there was a lot of conversations in the media, especially here in UK, about these Somali pirates that were hijacking these European and American ships, and it portrayed them as these kind of really evil people who are hijacking these ships, and and I felt like there wasn't representation or another perspective from the other side, which was sadly a lot of these countries that were bringing these ships, they were dumping their toxic waste in African shores. And this is the reality of, this is something that's been going on for years and people don't know about. Now, when you drop this toxic waste in African shores, what happens is that all the people who live locally, the fishermen can no longer fish because the fish die, and people can't feed their families. And people who live nearby, children will start being born maldeformed because of the impact of the toxic waste. So it's just a really good reminder for all of us to understand that sometimes things are not so black and white. There's always two different perspectives to every story.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, we very much only get the one, like over here in the UK. And so let's have a think about, like, so who else is there? So we've been listening to some Kanan, and you've brought some other bits of music as well, haven't you? So can you tell us a bit about some of these other artists?
Another artist who is really, really dope was a refugee from a country that's currently there's a lot of things currently going on which are really, really painful to hear and see. Is Emmanuel Jal, who is from Sudan. He was actually a child rebel soldier. So he talks about his experience as a child rebel soldier, having to fight, having to kill, having to shoot. And he managed to escape that world, and he fled to London. And he's created some very beautiful music. So I believe we're going to play one of his songs.
So, this is Emmanuel Jal, and the song is called Kua. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that quite right. And it's the FNX Omar remix. And that was Emmanuel Jal and Koa. So I've got MoYah here in the studio today talking to us as part of Bristol Refugee Festival, part of Refugee Week that's going on all around the world. And he's been running a project which is leading up to a big performance as part of Bristol Refugee Festival, which is going to happen this weekend. So what is this project about? Can you tell us a bit more about it? What's been happening? What have you been doing?
Yeah. So this project has actually kind of changed from the original idea. So initially I was invited by Bristol Refugee Festival to try and design a program that would engage young refugee youth groups who wanted to explore music. Unfortunately, Bristol Refugee Festival didn't receive I wrote a proposal, and sadly, they didn't get the funding that they wanted to. But very generously, Trinity Arts Centre kind of stepped in, and they had funding to also engage local youth, and they read my proposal and they decided to take it on. So it ended up becoming a project for 16 to 18-year-olds who identified as Black, who were Bristol-based, and wanted to explore creative writing and hip-hop. We tried to prioritize young people from refugee and asylum seeker backgrounds, but it wasn't just limited to that. And for this last 7 weeks, we've been making some amazing music, recording, and we've had young people from Sudan who have created some amazing poetry. And it wasn't just myself; it was myself, and there was also 2 other facilitators, Sakina Noor, who is a spoken word artist, and she was working very closely to specifically this young Sudanese boy who wrote this beautiful piece about home and the love of home. And it was really, really deep, because initially we just he was trying to translate what he wrote. And afterwards, we were able to get a Sudanese translator, and she was really able to speak about the depth of that piece. So in Arabic, there's over 20 words for love. So when there's multiple words to describe one thing, that shows the importance of that thing. And he literally used all 20-something words of love. And if you read it to describe his homeland, which is Sudan, so he's talking about Sudan as if he was a woman. It's really beautifully done, but he's talking about the love that he has for Sudan. So I also worked very closely with a young boy from Brazil, and also some UK-based young people. And this Sunday, at 2:30, some of them are going to be performing at Queen Square here in Bristol as part of Bristol Refugee Festival.
Yeah, and that is part of a day of programming. I think there's the Dovetail Orchestra,
That's
who
right.
are an orchestra made up of refugees, I think, as well, from all over the place. And then quite a few other artists as well who are going to be playing during that day. So there's a whole load of music all day long. I think there's going to be food, there's going to be dancing, there's going to be drumming, and so it sounds like it's going to be a really lovely event. There's also 2 days of workshops, music, food in Sparks as well. That's a kind of another thing which is also part of Bristol Refugee Festival. So there's a whole lot of things going on this weekend.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to perform at the Bristol Refugee Festival last year, and it was really, really nice to see the amount of people that came out to celebrate, and just different people from the community. So if you're free, it's free, and it's just a great event.
Yeah, completely free. In the Bristol City Centre, we're really, really, really lucky to have things like that, I think. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be there. So next up, we've got some music. What should we go for next? We've got another tune which MoYah's picked out from another refugee artist, and then we've also got some more of yours which we're going to play. What should we go for? That's the 47 Soul one there. And then,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So the next track is from 47 Soul, originally Palestinian band, extremely talented, and I had an opportunity to tour with them. So this one is called Don't Care Where You're From.
That was 47 Soul off the Shamstep EP and Don't Care Where You From. So did you say you supported them?
Yeah, I had the honor to spend quite a lot of time. We did some shows together across UK, and we actually worked on some music. Really, really remarkable musicians, great live performers, and just really good-hearted people. And I thought it was really, really important to have representation of musicians from Palestine and Sudan, especially because of the atrocities that are currently going on right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said that you just told me a little story about, was it the singer?
Yeah, one of them was telling me that he still carries like the keys to his house, which was given to him by his grandfather, I believe. And I don't even know what that means. Kind of know that there is so much connection to your home and land, and you know, like have these stories that have been passed to you by your father, which was passed down to him by your grandfather, and still not be able to have the opportunity to go to return home and connect with your land and your people. You know, I don't even understand how that would impact a person.
Yeah, I mean, it's like an amazing sort of symbol of like sort of the possibility of like human hope in the face of the absolutely crazy cruelty that the world can bring on other people. And so I think if you've personally been through that and you can still have some hope, then I think the rest of us have got to keep some hope as well, haven't we? Yeah. You know, so talking about kind of bringing positivity, bringing hope. So we've chatted a little bit about the Speak Out project that's leading up to the big concert in Queen Square this weekend. And you were going to chat a bit as well about you are the hip hop ambassador for May Project Gardens. Is that right? And so what does that involve? What are you doing with them?
Yeah, so May Project Gardens is organization that was co-founded by my good friend Ian Solomon Cowell. It was named after his late mother, who he used to care for. And after she passed away, he really wanted to honor her. So he decided to turn this derelict garden in South London into a community space where people could come, connect or reconnect with the earth and reconnect with nature in order to kind of, you know, for it to improve your well-being, because there's multiple studies that, you know, spending time in nature does really, really impact your well-being. And he started delivering workshops and programs to just different marginalized and underrepresented communities. And he's been able to achieve so much in the last 16 years. One of the things with a refugee youth group, they've actually built a whole natural building from so it's a straw bale classroom, whole straw bale classroom. Recently, they've just built a cob oven. And so people who access the space learn and a lot of new skills. And then there's multiple things in May Project Gardens, and one of the elements is Hip Hop Garden. So Hip Hop Garden is an educational program which we deliver all around the country and to different groups. So currently we are delivering it. We're coming to the end of delivering it to Bristol Drug Projects, which is also based here in St. Paul's. And previously we've collaborated with a refugee youth charity which is based in London and Bristol, called Our Second Home, and we delivered it there. And through this program, we kind of explored the intersections between environmentalism and also hip hop. So it's a really powerful project.
Amazing. So the next tune that we're going to play is Too Much Sauce, and it is another of your own tunes. Mm-hmm. And like, why is this special? Where did this one take you?
Too Much Sauce is a special one. Through this song, it was shortlisted to represent Portugal in last year's Eurovision, and it was, even though it didn't go to the finals, for me, I was very honored because it was the first time in like over 30 years, or first time ever within the Eurovision history, that Portugal decided to, or picked a song that was from a Mozambican-born artist who was a refugee, who is a hip-hop artist, and it's a song that addresses things such as identity, stereotypes and stuff. So for me, it wasn't so much about winning, but about representation and the impact that it had on other youth. I've received like dozens and dozens and dozens of messages from young black and brown teenagers saying that inspired them to pursue a music career and to also strive to get into the Eurovision.
Amazing. Right, so here it comes. This is Too Much Sauce by MoYah.
I'm the Shaka Zulu with the scene. Melanin popping like a beam. Never let hyenas on my team to try to run a track, best address me as a king. Sing gangs in the screen. When they say me, they don't say a thing. Quick to bounce like a trampoline, cause they don't really want it, so they turn to gelatin. Believe our legacy's royal. They don't wanna bring turmoil. Can't really handle when we boil. Live a man 6 feet covered in soil. Shout out to my Akis on the dean. Turn it back on the life of sin. Got that in the light, stay shouted with no bling. MoYah on the track, better recognize the king. Too much sauce, too much sauce. 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 Escuta bem quando canto. Em português um encanto, canto. Deixa ideias que espanto, meu fado é tanto. Já nem pranto, pronto. Lágrimas chegas para poder ver melhor. Pela rota bancarrota do café. Minha visão vem de algo superior. Paga a vida confiado com fé. Felicidade, um refugiado. Fuge iate, nem fui archeado. Vê-me enfiado no estúdio afiado. Único fiaste ter desconfiado. Desafiado por Vasco da Gama que temia a cor. Devia atravessar um ponto. Sou caveirinha neste conto. Da barca com bela fonte. Com too much sauce, too much sauce. 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 Too much sauce, too much sauce.
Well, right, so that was Too Much Sauce, MoYah's entry for the Portuguese Eurovision Song Contest. Was that last year?
Yes.
Yeah. And then, that was last year, which got through to the final shortlist. And you were just saying that it was like, so 2 million people watched those finals on the TV, and you had a lot of attention from it. It must have an impact, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably actually more than that, because you have people in Portugal, but it was also being, for some reason, broadcasted Japan, America, and then there is so it was being broadcasted in a TV channel called RTP, and so you can get that satellite dish wherever you are. So I had family in UK watching it, family in Holland, so wherever's got that. So it was being broadcasted to literally millions of people, and it was just really interesting how the Portuguese public was so split. Some people were like, yes, we need a new face, we need a new narrative, we need more representation, and were really, really supportive. And then other people were like, who's this monkey? Go back to Africa. This is what we're spending our tax money on. So you can still see this kind of very colonial, racist narratives and mindset from old Portuguese people that still exist and still embedded within the fabrics of their society.
And how do you see that, like, moving forwards in the future? Do you see that as something that's getting better in Portugal, like, and in the UK? Like, in your experience, how do you see it changing?
In UK, definitely. I mean, both UK and Portugal. I've definitely seen a lot of progress. When I go back to Portugal, I mean, Portugal used to be an extremely racist country. Growing up, my sister, who's only 6 years older than me, still remembers when we first moved there, her teacher teaching openly in class that Africans are only 3/4 human being.
Wow.
This is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but they wouldn't do that now, when I feel that the new generation is open to, I mean, it's traveling, they've got access to internet and stuff. So mindsets are definitely changing, but it's just happening slowly. And I feel like things like this, representation in the arts and culture, have such a big society. So I feel that's great. In UK, I'm still quite blown away up to now that something that I was kind of bullied, or I was the other, made to feel like the other because I was a refugee. at one point. Now it's something that's celebrated here in UK, having Refugee Week, and so that still blows me away. But it's something I'm very proud that we have here, UK.
Yeah, I think it's from the minute I first read about it, I thought like what a fantastic and important thing to have, and hopefully it is going to sort of just change the direction of people's minds a little bit. So thanks very much. We're coming to the end of the show. So thank you so much for coming in and sharing everything that you've shared, sharing your music, sharing your experience, letting us know about things that are happening in Bristol, elsewhere. If you know any young people who could benefit from the kind of projects that MoYah's talking about, I think like definitely get in touch. Because it sounds like there's going to be more things coming up. There'll be more things in the pipeline. And yeah, I guess reaching out to as many people as possible is important. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity, Kate.
Yeah, and we're going to just go out. We've only got time for like a couple of minutes, I think. But I think we're just going to go out finally on another one of MoYah's song. This is Que Pasa.
Fire today, fire tomorrow. Fire feeding, fire they don't know. Kiniti e gogono, chinaza siya ya. Que pasa, 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 que pasa.
Tired of the lies they say, whenever they speak from the truth they stray. Believe me now, we no play, corrupt leaders we cannot obey. So they try to deceive us all, policies only for show. Knowing well they cannot cope, with them in power there could be no hope. So I speak for all my people, had enough of all this evil. Bend the laws to suit their ego, policies they never keep to. Where I look it's all the same, Africa in so much pain. De ma puta terra, Accra, diz-me só o que passa.
Que pasa, 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 que pasa.
So-called leaders put us in debt. No healthcare, but they still got a jet. Multiple homes, international chef. Trailer new cars that he loves to collect. Still got the nerve to demand respect when he turn on the people he's supposed to protect. But the only concern is the mullah he gets. Okay. So I speak for all my people. Tyrant leaders, we don't need you. Bend the laws to suit your ego. Promises you never keep to. Where I look, it's all the same. Motherland in so much pain. De Abuja até Mombasa, diz-me só o que passa.
International, fire today, fire tomorrow. Fire feeding, fire they don't know. Kiniti e gogono, chinaza siya ya. Que pasa, 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 que pasa.
Tired of the lies they say, tired of the lies they say. Yeah. We never come to play, we didn't come to play, nah. Time for a brand new day, time for a brand new day. Yeah. And I can really see the change, I can really feel the change. Yeah.